So lately I've been feeling really drained from work. I've been going to bed super late, where I'll get off usually around like 10:30 or 11-ish. And I've been getting to bed like past 12. It's really fucking me up cuz I want to get up and go to jiu-jitsu at it's at 11, and I normally like to get up. I have my little routine that I want to do, and then I got to cook breakfast and then I go. But lately I've been just so tired where it's like I either skip the routine and like rush breakfast and then go to jujitsu, and then I get home and I'm tired and I try and like nap before work, or I get up early, I cut out some of my sleep, and then um, I do my routine and then I go to jujitsu. But then either way, it feels like I'm kind of burning the candle at both ends because I feel like I process life in my mornings. That's like the time that I spend to just reflect on stuff, and I always have used it as my time to process. And I have to make a decision where I either opt in for sleep, which is super necessary, or I opt in for processing, which is also necessary. And it feels like I can't have both right now. So I've been feeling pretty burnt out from work, um, and I'm noticing that I'm in a bad mood most of the time now because of the lack of sleep that I'm getting. Like before I left Flagstaff, I was like in a shitty mood for a while, and I was wondering what was going on, and I think it's because when I work nights, I don't get the optimal amount of sleep and I'm training, and so my body's not recovering, and it's just cuz like I feel fine in my life. Like everything I'm doing is on track. But I'm just in an upset mood. I'm noticed I'm irritable at work. I'm more irritable with people. I'm more irritable with my close loved ones. So it's kind of interesting just noticing that after taking so much time off from work and seeing how when you're not doing something like this, well, not everyone, but for me, I just like got to a state where I was in a really good place and I really liked it. So I'm going to be looking for a new job soon. I want to work mornings so I can start training at my new gym soon. I'm going to join them around December 15th. That's my last day at 10th Planet. And I'm going to start training in the night. So I'm going to find a morning job and see how that works. Um, yeah, we'll find out. But last night I had a really interesting dream. I dreamt that I had like arrived to a jungle, and I was walking along this path, and then there was this field, and there was all these structures around the field, and I was like blown away in my dream because the handiwork of the structures that were built were really beautiful. And then I like turn a corner and I see this other structure, and then there's this girl that I used to go to high school with that was just standing there. And so I walked up to her and I hugged her, and we were just like embracing each other, and we were just hugging each other, and I was asking her how she was and she was asking me how I was, and it felt really good. It felt like she was just supporting me. It was really odd. Like she was asking me about me, and I felt like really emotionally open. And that went on for, I don't know. That was just like a chunk of the dream where we were just talking. And then the dream either went into something else or I woke up. I don't remember. But I will usually, when I have dreams, if something feels extremely emotionally significant, I usually take some time in the morning to like kind of go over it. And I thought I kind of wrote out like kind of some intuitions as to what this was getting at. And one of them is a little bit out there. Not everyone's going to see eye to eye on this, but it's a possibility. I think we don't understand reality, and so it could completely be a possibility. I wrote So some things came to mind. And in saying this, I'm not picking like one of them is it doesn't feel like this is it. There's just like slices of what this could be. So it felt like one, we were saying hi to each other, like really, like our souls were just catching up and kind of using like a dream state as a medium. I also think it could be my relationship to like my feminine aspect in my mind. Because I remember like 3 or 4 years ago when I was last in Vegas and I wasn't doing very good. I was having like this theme in my dreams where there was a feminine character and I was like overly sexualizing her with my relationship to her. It felt like a really underdeveloped aspect of myself that I was experiencing. Because every time I would interact with this feminine character, it was just like me sexualizing her. And it was odd. Something about it I could just tell was off. And I remember at the time thinking, okay, this is a part of myself that I need to develop more. I need to develop my relationship with this part of myself better. And since then, I remember I want to say it was like a year or two ago. I remember it started shifting where I started interacting with this character that would pop up in my dreams a lot more. It was a lot more healthy. Like we were helping each other more. And since then, it's gotten to the point where now when I have this feminine character in my dreams, it's extremely healthy. Like it's like, and this is a good example of it where there's this feminine character, and when we see each other, we just embrace and we're asking each other how we're doing, and it felt really good. So that's another thing that kind of came to mind is just there's this aspect of myself that has finally been developed to a healthy point where it's like my dreams are supporting me, right? Like my a part of myself was asking me in my dream how I'm doing. And then from that happening, my emotions felt open and I felt supported. So I thought that was interesting too. Um, I also thought it was interesting that it was in a jungle and also with a feminine figure because I think it could also be a part of my mind processing my experience in Peru because I was in the jungle and I did ayahuasca and Mother Ayahuasca was there and like I interacted with her and she was helping me and supporting me. So the parallels there I thought were just kind of interesting. Like it could just be my mind kind of expressing that experience or processing that experience a little bit later. Either way, it felt really good to just have that dream. Um, there was another part that I wrote. Oh yeah, I dreamt of my San Pedro too. I dreamt that I was just trying to water the soil, and then like I couldn't get the soil wet enough. But then I looked at the San Pedro and it was really healthy, and it's in my closet right now with the light on. I have like this grow light, and it's looking healthy. So that felt good too. I feel like I really am stoked to have that because it's like I'm putting all this love into it. And San Pedro's super sturdy too, is what my buddy was telling me. And what's cool is like when it grows big enough, you can, harvest it and then you have like a little you just take the tip and you put it back in some soil and it'll just grow again. So it's cool because I'm pretty stoked. I'm like this thing can follow me like throughout my life. It'll kind of be like a little plant companion. I also have a bunch of other plants that I've had for a while now. So I really like those things. Yeah, but it felt good. I think I'm not gonna go to jujitsu today because my body is just feeling so trashed from not getting enough sleep. There's definitely an imbalance with this job. And the other day I could tell I was like, I just need to find a new job now because if I don't, I'm just gonna get sour and I'm gonna be upset all the time. And I don't want that. I think like when there's an imbalance in your life, usually you know what's going on. People kind of know what's making them upset, and I think it's really important to address it as soon as possible because if you don't, it just festers. It makes you resentful towards those things and or people, and I don't want to be that way. I want to, and it's hard too, right? Because it's like I'm working a job and I'm training martial arts, and those are like the things that I came here to do. But it's more complicated than that. It's like you have to balance your life so well. It's so hard sometimes, especially with this type of job where I'm working late. So we'll see how mornings go. I did the math like I kind of like scoped out what my day would look like if I get hired at some of these places I'm applying at because they're breakfast joints. Like if some of the places I'm applying at open up at 6, so I'd have to get there 30 minutes early, which means I'd be getting up around like 4 if I'm gonna cook and shit, like cook my breakfast and get ready and go. And then the nighttime wrestling that at this new gym starts at 7:30, so I would be getting home around 9ish, like 9 to 9:30. And if I was asleep by 9, waking up at 4, that's only 7 hours. So even then, I'm running into an imbalance where I'm kind of thinking like, all right, this isn't. I gotta like figure this out. Um, I don't know. Life's hard. It's complicated to like make shit work. It really like martial arts really matter to me. So my job, I'm just gonna have to get a job that works around it, and I'll build a schedule that works around it. Cause me like skipping jujitsu today is because of this imbalance from lack of sleep. And I don't want that to be a thing in my life. I want to be able to do jujitsu like 5 or 6 days a week. I don't want to worry about overtraining because of my job. So, yeah, that's it.